bourbon and boxing.
No idea. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Boxing, man. This is episode 51, man. Once again, you got your host, Jeff. I don't know why it's got me as B, you know. That
B.
shit's messed up. But just B, like, it don't even make no sense. But, of course, we got Big Spade over here, guys.
Hey, man. Double
Man.
B's, man. Bourbon and boxing. B and B.
Man. Yeah, B and B. But look, man, this week, bro, like it's one of those weeks where I'm glad we waited till Friday to do this show because it seems like it's just been a buildup, man. Boxing right now is like a fire smoke. It's everywhere. Everybody's talking about this sport, and it ain't just because of one dude, Canelo. It's several guys. Big conversations this week. Big news coming out of boxing, man. So good that I had to go get the good stuff because all the news, man, this shit makes me want to drink. I'm telling you now, I just want to drink mass bourbon to just deal with all this bullshit going on right now, man. I mean, there's no other way to just jump in straight into the news that's going on, man. We can't ignore the big news, man. Canelo Alvarez and PBC. I don't know how the fuck this came about, but they have mutually split ways. They've mutually parted from each other. Canelo now a free agent, and PBC, I guess, just throwing out the last two fights that he owes them. There are a lot of rumors coming with this. I don't know how much is true. You know what? Because we haven't really heard anything from PBC. They haven't really come out and spoke and said what went on with the Canelo deal, why they decided to part ways. A lot of rumors are they don't have the money for the fights, which doesn't make any sense. They just signed a huge deal with Amazon. So, I mean, what are you taking from this, man? Is PBC broke? Or is Canelo...
Like how they broke when they about to do a big fight with Thurman and Tazoo.
Yeah.
So
that's my question, man. They're putting on a hell of a fight March 30th. And of course, they've already talked about Frank Martin, Javante Davis later in the summer, early spring, summer, sometime around there. But what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that now, here's my theory, man. Canelo doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. I think part of his deal with PBC was stipulated that one of those three fights was going to be against David Benavidez.
Probably right.
Yeah. Now he wants basically $35 million to fight the older Charlo brother, the bigger Charlo guy. PBC initially is saying we're not going to pay you $35 million to fight Charlo. Like pretty much saying that fight isn't worth the $35 million that he's asking for, and that they weren't willing to port that up. Now I think he doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. I think he uses that as an excuse. I think he wants part of that Saudi money. That's my whole theory. He wants that Saudi money, and he wants his last. He's only going to fight. I would say 3 more times. I don't really see him. Everybody says he'll fight 5 more years. I don't see that. I think he's going to do 3 big fights in Saudi.
Why you don't think he will fight
Fucking
5
run
more
off.
years?
Yeah, I don't see 5 more years in him. Do you?
Why?
One, because he's got a lot of wear and tear on him. Even though he's younger, he's fought going on 60+ fights in his career at this point. He's an active fighter. He's not a 1-year fight. He doesn't fight once a year. He fights 2 to 3 times a year on the average. At his age, and in that division he's in, a lot of wear and tear on his body. I don't think he's got 5 years left in him. To be at the level he's at, if he wants to fight 5 more years, I think we see a big decline, especially if he goes up against the younger talent like Morrell and Benavidez and these younger guys like that. I think, to me, that's a big step to think you can fight 5 more years when you put your body through what you've already put your body through.
So do you think he should get them? So you said he got like 5 more fights in him? That's what you said, right?
I think he's got 3.
Okay,
I
so
think
do
he
you
got
think he
3.
should do them 3 fights back to back?
I think he'll do 2 this year, and
No, no,
then
no. I don't. I said, do you think he should do 3 fights back to back?
no, I think he should do what he normally does. Spread May, September. I mean, we were getting
I
3
mean, that's
fights
back to
from
back
him.
to me.
Well, yeah, it
I'm
is
saying
back to
for
back.
as like if he had 3 fights, like, do you think he should sit out a year,
I think he
or
should spread that shit out, or
yeah, like
just
should it be
yeah.
like 6 months down the road, or do you think it should be a year?
Well, with him, I think he's with his the way he fights, it would obviously be back to back fights, and then him going back again in May. You know, September being the last fight, and then finishing out with a May fight, a big fight in May. But if you look at it, if he doesn't fight Benavidez, I mean, who are we
It's
going to
over with
pay?
that. We can quit
Who are
thinking about that.
yeah?
Since
Who
he
are we
did,
paying for him to watch? I mean, you can put him up against Jaime
I ain't
Munguia.
watching his ass.
I respect Jaime Munguia. But and then if you put him up against Edgar Berlanga, we watched him this weekend. Nothing about that
I
boy
want to
tells
talk on
me,
that too. I want to talk on
yeah,
him and Berlanga.
yeah,
What the fuck Berlanga done did to deserve a Canelo fight? How
yeah,
do you skip Anthony Durrell? How do you skip Caleb Plant? How do you skip Jamal Tarlow? How do you skip David Benavidez to get a Canelo fight? And you're not like you still need work, bro. Like
yeah.
you he did good. That was a good confident fight for him. Like it boosts his confidence back up a little bit. But you don't know how to really finish. Like you should have been got dude out of there. Like
Yeah.
so my point is like how you skipping all these names that
I
want
mean,
Canelo and you could jump to a Canelo fight. Not gonna happen.
only in boxing,
Unless
only in
Canelo
boxing.
picking.
But he is going to pick it. He's going to pick Jaime. He's going to pick Berlanga because he believes those are 2 easier fights for him. I think Jaime's a dangerous fight. Jaime has a chin on him.
I ain't hip to him.
He's a super active. I was big on Jaime. Now everybody gets on him because of his record. You know, he's got like 35 so fights underneath his belt. But before he fought Dermanchenko, he didn't fight anybody. And they had Boo Boo Andrade in
Yeah.
his same stable.
Okay.
Under how those 2 didn't fight each other, like they went back and forth for years. It should have happened. It never
Right.
did. That would have been the big test for Jaime, in my opinion. I've always liked what I see from him. He's a good fighter. He took a beating from Dermanchenko, who was a heavy, heavy fucking hitter, but he withstood it, gave it right back to him, showcased a lot, in my opinion, on what type of fighter he is. He's a strong, good-willed chin fighter, but to me, once again, it's like you said, how's he skip Durrell? How's he skip Caleb Plant? How's he skip, even fighting David Benavidez, David Morrell, any of these guys, and go directly to
Or
Canelo
fight Anthony Durrell. Fuck
just
it. Well, I
because
think he
he
retired.
just yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
but
But
just
hey,
because Jaime's last fight, like I don't know. I
Berlanga
think
though, I on the Berlanga situation, my bad for cutting you off. I
no, you
did
good. You good.
hear something that was cool. Sean Porter and 2 Ants with the T, they was talking about it. And they said a good one. Fight Danny Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I ain't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. That'd be a good touch fight. Or fight Caleb Plant, but you can't just jump to Canelo. And Canelo, if Canelo even pick you to fight, I understand what type of fighter Canelo is. You 30 what? He 30 something. He 30 what? 34?
Who's that? Canelo? Yeah, about 34 years old, I think he is.
So like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Here's my thing.
I don't even want to
Does
talking
now
about
let's
his
say
son.
now rumor is he's going back to the zone with Eddie Hearns, and the only people Hearns has to match him up with is Berlanga and Munguia. There is nobody else in that stable to match him up against. Those are the 2 fights they put on the table for Canelo. Though, well, we'll give you these 2 guys, but it's
Right.
like you said, only in boxing could these 2 guys who have fought nobody really be able to jump up to that level and fight a guy like Canelo while his mandatory is David Benavidez. Only in boxing can you ignore your mandatory. For how many years now has he ignored David Benavidez. I know
I'm
they're
gonna say
saying that
about
now he lost that
two.
opportunity on his own merit, on his own fault. What losing the opportunity to be the mandatory a long time ago.
Who?
You know what I'm saying?
David.
Benavidez.
But he worked
Yeah,
himself
with
back
the
up
whole
though.
cocaine thing. But that's been so long that he's
Yeah, he worked
right
himself
back
up.
at the point. He's
Yeah.
built himself all the way back up, and now he's earned that right to be the mandatory. And if you're the WBC, do we see them take action against the golden child, Canelo Alvarez? Or will they allow him to go fight 2 more non-mandatory fights against 2 guys in his division and with 0 consequences whatsoever?
Run that back.
Does the WBC take action against Canelo Alvarez?
No.
Or do they treat him like the golden child they
No.
have, and they
You know
allow
that.
him to skip that mandatory for 2 more fights? For 2 more fights. I mean, I could
Man,
say,
they
okay, if you want to fight a
he's
warm-up fight,
spoiled, bro.
you feel you need it. But if a mandatory is a mandatory, why is it only the IBF sticks to the mandatory thing?
I
Why is it
don't
the
know. Like
WBC,
mandatory
WBO?
sound good. Don't get me wrong. It's cool being a mandatory. I'm mandatory up next to fight you. But is my mandatory a tuna fight? You know what I'm saying? Like mandatory cool, but the business is bigger than that. Because you gotta think. I could be Canelo mandatory. Don't nobody fucking know me. Was they gonna pay to watch me? Who the fuck is this
Mhm.
dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the mandatory, they need to just get that shit out of boxing. Now going from ranking, okay, he number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and this. Pick from these
Yeah.
top 10
Yeah.
fighters. The word mandatory is like no, it's like giving the motherfucker the feeling like they earned it, and they probably ain't earned it like this
Yeah.
guy earned it. You know what I'm saying? Just because you the mandatory, I'm mandatory to take I'm mandatory to take these cooking classes before a motherfucker that really want to cook and probably
Yeah.
better than me in cooking. No, that don't. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be that. Like that don't. That no, because I go before this person, and this person might not even be better than me, and this might be more money. It's a business. Like boxing ain't what it was. That mandatory shit, take that on up out of there, because that ain't happening.
Now, I can
That ain't
agree
happening.
that a lot of the mandatories are, a lot of hoorah. Like for instance, like John Ryder was a mandatory at one point. Did anybody thought that John Ryder should have been the mandatory? No, absolutely not. When you have David Benavidez, Morrell, and Caleb Plant, and all these other guys in that division, no way did I ever see John Ryder as a mandatory. So how exactly what you say, how they determine who the mandatory is it all by favoritism, shit like that? And I agree with the ranking system. It's as simple as 1 fights 2, you know what I mean? 3 fights 4. It should be as simple as that. And if 2 loses, then 3 moves up and 1
Yeah,
fights 2 again. I mean,
yeah.
it should be
Like
that
how you get to the
simple, bro. It
mandatory
should be
spot?
that
Like
simple.
when you ain't. How do you be the mandatory when you mandatory, but you ain't even fought the second place dude or the third place dude? Like that shit
Yeah.
just ain't.
Yeah, they
That
go
shit
and
whack.
they'll fight tune-up fights, and then, "Oh, I'm the
Yeah, but
mandatory,"
yeah,
and, and
that shit
yeah,
ain't hold no weight, man.
I think
Motherfuckers got smarter now, bro. Like boxing game, people got smarter. Floyd put the blueprint down, bro. Like people got
but
smarter now.
we're in a sport where they weren't smart enough to fucking follow the blueprint that he clearly set out for everybody, and you only got really 1 to 2 fighters like, following that. You got Devin Haney
Oh, I was about
making
to
his
say you
own
got to say
motherfucking
him.
route.
I was about to say you
He
got to
makes
say
his
him.
own route, bro. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he
sign,
been doing that
"I'm gonna
though
do
since
a
a kid.
2-fight deal with you. I'm gonna do a 2-fight." He follows wherever the belts are.
Yeah,
He
he's
makes his
been
own
doing that
shit. Very
since a
smart.
kid.
And then Tank Davis now pretty
Yeah.
much makes his own route, his own decisions, where he wants to fight, who he wants to fight, all that other shit. Like my thing is that Floyd set out such an easy blueprint that I don't know how other fighters aren't following that, and everybody keeps going down the same fucking road of I'm going to sign a 5-year fight with Top Rank, who's going to go stale after 3 fights, and they're
Right,
not going to have anybody for me to fight. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like Devin right now should be the actual blueprint that boxers should be following. Like sign a 2-fight deal, and then if they've got more people for you to fight, then yeah, you sign another 2-fight deal. But if not, look at your next opportunity. PBC, Top Rank, whoever else is out there. And like Devin does, okay, well, the belts are over on the zone. Regis Prograde has a belt. I want to fight him. You know what I mean? So that's a smart move on his part. And I don't know how other fighters aren't following that. Like you see Shakur is kind of stuck in his contract with Top Rank, which has kind of stagnated him on some of the bigger fights that he could have had because they just don't have the stable to really feed him these fighters that he should, the level of fighters that he should really be fighting.
Right. I think he only got one more fight too under them.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they making that
Supposedly he turned down like what was it, like $15 million deal for like 3 years or some shit like that, which would have been like 5 million a fight, something like that.
No.
With the money that's out there, yeah, I turned that down too. Because with companies like Top Rank, they're not including pay-per-view sales, they're not including ticket sales. It's we're going to pay you 5 million, and then we're going to profit from the rest of that fight, and you're not going to get an extra penny from that. But that's where you have to come in mentally with a good manager who's willing to negotiate that type of shit for you, to say no, we want part of ticket sales. From whatever you guys selling tickets, if it's a pay-per-view event, we want part of that.
He got a good manager, Jay Prince, his manager.
Who's his manager?
Jay Prince.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I mean, I think like if you look at it like with the zone, like Canelo right now, he'll cherry pick Magia Berlanga, probably jump back to the zone. Or do you think this is his way of holding PBC kind of hostage to a situation of saying, look, I've got options. I can jump over to the zone. They'll pay me as much. They have the Saudi ties that PBC doesn't have. Or if you're PBC, do you go, all right, go over to the zone. And then when you do, we're going to approach the Saudis and try to make that Benavidez Canelo fight happen, because there's big money in that fight. In my opinion, if you want both of these guys to get in the ring, like I'll tell you what, on the David Benavidez, before I jump into that, but yeah, that's my opinion. Like, do you let him go, or is he holding PBC hostage and threatening that, hey, I'm going to go to the zone. I don't want anything more to do with this deal. Or do you think he's like, fuck that, I don't want to do this. I'm jumping ship.
Bye, Canelo. We got Tank Davis. Bye.
They do, but they just lost Crawford.
So what? We got Tank Davis. Bye.
But think about it, you lose Canelo and Crawford in the same week.
The Crawford, my boy. Well, I'm gonna tell you this: Crawford just now, after one fight, really made itself now who everybody was missing out on. We got Tank Davis. Crawford and Spence ain't do better than Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia.
No, not at all. That was a huge fight.
Tank Davis. He been fighting on pay-per-view a lot times now.
Yeah.
So we ain't losing. We not losing. No. We about to see how this card gonna go on March 30th with Thurman and Tszyu and Pitbull Cruz and
even
see how that go. And then we going. Then when we had this, then after that we gonna make the real announcement about
Frank
and Tank, and then that's when we really gonna get a deal, or probably get a bigger bag. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want to put that money because they know Tank is he explosive and he knocking you out. So who don't want to pay to see that? Canelo,
he has that power.
Canelo ain't his fights is like, are you beating these guys up? But now we just tired of seeing you just dog walking everybody, like fight.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to like. I don't, man. Am I so weird to think that he's either better than what I want to give Canelo credit for, or it's just something weird, man. To watch these guys get in and none of them fight the same fight. Caleb Plant did. He fought his fight, moved around, does what he does in the ring. But Charlo, it was not the Charlo we see in the ring. Like, he was stagnant the whole fight against Canelo. Now, is that more credit towards Canelo's style of being able to trap guys, fight in a smaller ring and trap guys and make them fight his style of fighting? Or is that a big stage that these guys just aren't ready for? I
Man, they've
mean,
been
we would
fighting on
think
big stages their whole life.
Charlo's
Ain't
been
no
on that
excuse.
big stage,
They've been on these stages their whole life.
but
Not
it
just
seems like they're like deer in
before
the
the
headlight.
pros. They've been on these stages, man.
Yeah,
In
like
these
I
tournaments
expected.
as amateurs. They've been on stage, even in sparring. Like
Mhm.
you seen that stage Javante and Devin Haney was on. That's a big stage to spar in front of hundreds of people, in front of Floyd
Yeah, yeah,
Mayweather. It's
yeah,
that's They've been through these stages their whole life, man. And ain't no
yeah.
excuse. You a
So
boxer.
there's
You supposed to go in
absolutely
there and
no
do what you
excuse.
supposed to do. Ain't no freezing up. This ain't basketball.
Yeah, I
This
mean, they just
this
sometimes they
this
come off
be
like a
killed
deer
or
in
get killed.
headlights, and it doesn't make sense
Yeah,
to
this
me to
be
see
killed or
guys
get
that.
killed, man.
Yeah,
This ain't basketball, bro. Ain't no freezing up. Ain't no,
yeah,
oh, I pass you the ball, you shoot. Nah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I
you
don't
is
feel
the
like it
shooter.
today. I'm gonna pass to you. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
pass
is
it
the
over to you.
shooter. You the
Yeah,
shooter.
yeah. You'd only do it on the court. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't know, man. I guess it's giving Canelo the credit as to being the more bully style fighter, being able to get these guys to fight his style, get them out of their rhythm, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's hard for me right now to really like with Canelo just with everything going on this week. He's found a way to keep his name out there, keep his name in the news, keep everybody talking about him, keep him the main topic in boxing. And I'm sure that's what he likes to do. But we just talked about Terrence Crawford also officially becoming a free agent because Spence hasn't been able to uh, live up to
I thought he been a
time.
free agent though.
Well, no, he signed a 2-fight deal with PBC.
Oh yeah, for the
Now that was
rematch.
gonna be the rematch,
Yeah,
but now they said the timetable for that rematch is gone. Like, they had a certain timetable for that to happen, and Crawford says that that timetable is way past what it should have been. Now he has decided to become a free agent. PBC can't do anything about it, because the
yeah.
time like, it has
Because the
passed. There's nothing
contract.
they can do.
It's because
It's a
it was
contract. The
in the
contract
contract.
stipulates that that rematch
Yeah,
happens in this amount of time, this window. It didn't happen in that time. Well, of course, we know with Spence's another eye surgery, we knew that wasn't going to happen. If it did, it wasn't going to happen till the summertime again. You know what I mean? And that was still pushing it, in my opinion. But where does Crawford go from here? Is he at a crossroads on I need to fight because he's not getting younger? He's getting towards the end of his career. Is he at that stalemate to where he can't afford to wait till later this year? I mean, I'm sure he can afford it, but boxing wise, can he afford to wait till late summer, late fall to get another big fight?
he can afford to wait how long he want, man. Crawford stay in that gym around them young boys, man. He getting sharper. Look, you get older, we understand that though. We Floyd was doing this shit at 40, but Nora Hopkins damn near 50. It's the mentality.
Fucking George Foreman was what, 50
Yeah,
something, became a
it,
champion again. And
it's the mentality you got, and he got the
yeah,
mentality. Stay in the gym. He working with them young boys. So what they bringing new to the table, he putting it in his bag, and what they know, what he know, they putting it in. He putting it in their bag. So
but for his
I don't, I
career,
don't, I don't,
for
I
his
don't
career, his legacy, is he leaving fights on the table?
no, he not leaving no fights on the table. Give me the fights I want. Or
Who do you want for him next?
Canelo.
Realistically, because let's
Canelo.
think about it. Canelo says he's not going to fight him.
All right. If
Now,
but
I already
but
said,
all right,
now
listen,
look,
listen,
look,
listen.
did you
It's
see my
still
bourbon
be
and boxing post? I
nah.
said that if you're Eddie Hearns, that the minute you saw Terrence was a free agent, you're making that phone call. You're calling the Saudis first, and you're saying, "What would you pay for a Canelo Crawford fight?"
Listen.
The minute they give you
I
that
got it.
bag, you run back to
He
both
ain't
of those
going to fuck
fucking
with
guys.
no David. He ain't going to fuck with no Hearns. But I can tell you this.
But that's the only way I think
What?
it happens now.
No, I can see him getting a new contract from PBC, seeing what they pushing, and he fight the winner out of Tszyu and Thurman, and then Jermell Charlo come back and he take his belts because he gonna beat the fuck out of whoever out of Thurman or Tszyu at 154, and then Jermell come back with his belts and he fight him because he got a belt now and be undisputed in that weight class. That's a good. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's what I
then
can see.
remake the Spence.
Because
And it,
Tszyu can prove himself. Motherfucker know him a little bit more after this fight. He got a belt.
yeah,
Crawford be at 154. They go to 154. They at 154. Him or Thurman, I ain't gonna say I don't know who gonna win. Tszyu or Thurman, whoever win, he fight them, take their belt, and they fight Jermell. After
yeah.
that,
And then I
you know
think
what I'm
possibly
saying?
down the road, if he stays with PBC, then he can remake a Spence fight at 154. I don't
Man,
care who
we're not
you are. Even
fighting
though we
Spence no
saw
more.
him beat the
We
brakes
don't
off of
want to
Spence,
fight Spence, man. He got too
we
many
we
injuries, and we don't
we
want to hear no
saw that
excuses.
happen. I think if you're Spence, you definitely don't want to fight Crawford again. Number one, here's the thing with Spence, man, that I don't think a lot of people are registering. When your eye's that fucked up and you've had 2 or 3 surgeries already on that same fucking eye, how long can you continue to box? Because it's going to happen every fight almost. If he's getting hit in that same prediction, in that eye area, the chances that he's going to continue to have the same fucking eye problem. How long can you risk that as just a person in general to say, look, man, I'm risking a lot by continuously. You can only get so many eye surgeries to repair your fucking eye.
Right.
So career wise, would he be smart to walk away from boxing with all the injuries he's had from car wrecks? And he's been in 2 car wrecks. He's had his eye repaired 3 times.
He only
Like,
lost one fight. Let's see. Let's see. One more fight. If he ain't looking the same or he need repair, then quit. But man, this is boxing, so he ain't going. It's not going to just. That man's just not gonna quit because of eye injury and that. He gonna see. He gonna test the water. He gonna see how far he can take it. You know what I'm saying? And then
yeah,
after that, if he ain't looking impressive or he ain't looking like the same Earl Spence, then yeah, go ahead and retire. Like, but not
yeah,
not right now. Don't retire right now without seeing how far you could go or what. You know what I mean? I got
yeah,
beat
yeah,
up one time. Everybody saying I need to retire. No, I just took a bad beat and I got punished. Don't
yeah,
mean I need to retire. You know what I'm saying? Because I fought the same other motherfuckers with this same shit, and they ain't do this to me. So
yeah.
no, I don't
But
think you need
if
to
he moves
retire.
up to 154, Tszyu's not an easy fight. He's not going to fight Charlo. He's already said that. I mean, Charlo says that the money's right. He says it doesn't matter what the money is. He refuses to fight the Charlos because they're brothers to him and shit like that. But to me, it's like he goes up a level 154. It's only going to get heavier punching, more power. Tszyu's no joke at that level. Like even Thurman is a good fighter at that level. Even though I think Spence, I think Tszyu's going to beat the brakes off Thurman. I really do. I think Thurman's just been inactive too long. Uh, he's a good fighter, but he's not that fighter. Maybe he surprised me, but I don't see it happen. I think Tszyu beats
Yeah,
him and he
walk
beats
him
him
down.
easily. Yeah, I
Walk
think he
him
beats
down.
him. Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I don't know, man. With Spence, his injuries and shit, man, that's a lot to deal with. But let's get over to some David Benavidez news, man, because as we know, we talked last week about him possibly moving up to light heavyweight for the interim WBC championship fight that he would take on at 175. Now, he was kind of in limbo, they said, waiting to see what Canelo was going to do. Now that Canelo has split from PBC, he's officially made it clear that he's going to take the fight at 175, and he's not waiting around for Canelo. Now, I was watching an interview with his dad on Pro Box TV. His dad's claiming that after the Ryder fight, they were offered to fight Canelo. And it was supposed to be a 50-50 split. Canelo team hit him up, said, the only thing we're going to offer you, the max is $5 million. They took the fight. They claim, we said yes, send us the paperwork. The money's not what we want. We want the fight. And then they were ghosted by Canelo's team. So what's that sound like to you? That sounds like duck, duck, goose. Like we're gonna
Yeah,
throw you a
y'all
bullshit
try to.
ass offer
Yeah, thought we
and
was
know
gonna
that you're
not take it.
because that's exactly they wanted him to say, nah, fuck that 5 million. And then they would have made it, well, it's all about the money with him. But he
Yeah,
didn't. And they said, no, we'll take that.
yeah.
So how does that fucking make Canelo look? That you offered 5
Tired of
million.
talking about Canelo, but shit,
They took the 5 fucking million.
you know
They
how
said, we'll
niggas
take it,
look.
and then you ghosted him. and then they
You
got
know how to
ghosted.
make it. You know how we know how to make him look. If that's true, though, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. If that's true, you know how to make it look. They tried some. Try to throw the fish a rod in the ocean with sharks and give him a
yeah,
worm.
yeah.
But he
Smoke
pulled
and
the whole
mirrors, as
fishing
they
rod.
call it.
He pulled the whole fishing rod in and got him hooked in. You
Yeah,
feel me? So
yeah,
yeah, they weren't getting what they was looking for. You know what I'm saying? But the
yeah,
shark got what he was looking for. Come on,
yeah.
bro.
He
Like,
said, "I want the fight. I don't care about the money." It's like his dad said,
yeah.
they don't come from money. They don't care about money.
And
They've
I've
earned
been
enough
fighting
money to where
before
they live
money.
comfortably.
The
He
money
said,
is
"We live
extra.
comfortably." You
The
know?
money is extra, man. I've been
Yeah.
boxing.
He
I've been
said the
boxing
money
since I
will
was a
come.
kid.
Yeah, and that's what they've always said. The money, the glory, all that will come after we fight Canelo. We
Yeah,
fight him, that sets us up. Even if we have to take 5 million to fight this guy,
yeah.
we will fight him just because we know what that's going to do for David Benavidez's career. Now,
Yeah.
listen to this. David Benavidez had something to say about this. Now, he actually spoke out to ESPN on Thursday, leaving them a statement. His says his actions speak a lot of words. Benavidez told ESPN on Thursday. This was the biggest fight. So him parting ways with PBC, even though this fight for me and him was on the table, it just speaks volumes. I'm not going to be waiting on Canelo. After I fight Canelo, my career doesn't end. Pretty much saying, look, man, we'll go to 175. We'll make these fights. Canelo isn't the end all. Like Canelo wants to make it like that, but David Benavidez sounds like a smart dude that is like, look, man, I'm tired of this shit. We're not gonna chase this dude.
He need
You
to go
know,
press up on his bitch ass. Go to his gym. Do it like Muhammad
ah,
Ali
yeah,
used to do. Pull up on his bitch ass. Like,
I
man, what's up?
swear to God,
What
troll the
the
fuck
fuck?
out of him.
Man,
Show
what's
up
up?
to his
Yeah,
fucking
cause
press conference,
man,
May the
troll his
4th.
bitch ass. He ain't who is he?
Yeah,
Like you troll, that's my boy. Not the but you troll Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? Troll him.
yeah,
Troll
yeah,
him.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Trolling. Go to his fucking fights. Call him out during his press conferences.
Yeah,
Be front row for every fight he has,
yeah,
and
be
be
on
there to
that.
say, "What's up,
I want
motherfuckers?"
that smoke,
Be
man.
there.
I'm gonna show
Like,
the people I really want you. I'm popping up where you at, man.
yeah, yeah.
Matter of fact, I might come out. I might be your Uber driver when you leave your house. Hey, hello. You know what I'm saying? I'm
You're like, "Huh, the fucking David? What are
yeah,
you doing here, David?"
yeah, yeah. I might. That smoke might be that serious. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
we'll
I'm
make
bringing
that fight
smoke,
happen, bro.
man. For
Yeah, and I
sure.
agree, man. It just to me, yeah, of course, David can move up. He's fighting a pretty dangerous fight, dude. This guy is fighting Alexander Volzik, some kind of fucking Russian name.
Yeah.
Tough fucking dude, man. He was trained by Teddy Atlas. Teddy knows a lot about him. And he's saying, look, man, this is a brave move by DB. This is no walkthrough. He's going to be challenged by this guy. And then he's going to have an opportunity, if he beats him, to fight Bivol or Better Beef. Now, is that a better fight for him than Canelo?
Depend on who win. I mean, yeah. It depends on who win.
I
But
think if it's him and Benavidez or Better Beef,
yeah, that'd be
boy,
smoke. But I just feel like if Bivol win, he beat Canelo, so that'll put him on a higher standard if he beat him.
yeah.
But anyway, he can't go wrong. You know what I mean? He can't go wrong with either fight.
Well, this is what I also said. If he goes up, let's say he goes and
He
he
might
beats
be stronger too
he
going
beats
one
gets the
second.
lightweight. Yeah, let's say he goes up against a Bivol or a Better Beef. I really don't know if he beats Better Beef. I'm not gonna lie. That
Why you say
motherfucker,
that?
dude, bro, Better Beef. When I say the definition of a bully fighter, I don't give a fuck who you are, what style you fight. He will push you back. He is so fucking, and he's not looking for the long range. He gets inside of you, throws them short fucking power
What
punches.
you think Benavidez
Better
is?
Beef is a bully style fighter. Now, I think it would be a great head to head
What
fight.
you think Benavidez is though?
Benavidez is a push forward fighter,
He a
but
bully.
Better Beef is the definition of bully. Like if you
I
had
gotta
to
see.
define
I ain't watch him.
bully,
I heard good. I ain't heard nothing but good things about this guy. You feel me? But I don't think he quick enough. That shit coming slow. It's coming
he
prior. It's coming
He's
in
quicker
front
than
of,
what he
but you
looks.
ain't standing in front of no Benavidez at
Yeah, well, he's
175.
not standing like he's going to back him down.
He ain't standing in front of him.
Now, and that puts like when I said like it's hard for me to say like I love DB, I love watching Benavidez, his aggressiveness, but man, Better Beeves like you'll see that when he fights Bivol,
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
might be the better boxer, but Better Beeve is the more like his aggression take like it's just taken over. Like
They
as,
say
no matter
dudes are
what you
better.
try to do, like if you can't fight off your back foot, Better Beeves he's gonna knock you out.
Why
You gotta
Bivol
be
so
able
a
to
good
fight.
boxer though?
What's
I'm
that?
lost. I don't like.
You
I
don't
said
think Bivol? I think Bivol is a
no.
better
I'm not
boxer.
saying that. I'm saying why do people think that? Because he fought Canelo that was smaller. He was able to
Not
use
just because
that
of his footwork that I see him in. Now, his last fight against Lyndon Arthur, no, I wasn't impressed with him.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
saw
Like
that fight and I
this
thought,
ain't
man,
come up
Better
until he
Beeve.
fought Canelo though, a
But how
smaller
much
guy.
did he? But my thing is, how much did he train? And you're right. Canelo was the smaller guy,
Where he
175,
get his jab off
way
and make
smaller.
Canelo
Yeah,
come to him and step. He could do all that.
yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying? So what
yeah.
makes
And
him a
I
good?
agree.
Why they say he's fun? I don't know. We gonna see though. We gonna
Well,
see.
some of the fights I've seen with him shows me that he's got good footwork. But my thing is, he's not going to be able to fight off his back foot against Better Beeve. Better Beeve's going to punish him,
Yeah,
in
you
my
can do
opinion.
that with a smaller guy though.
Mhm.
If I'm not, I can fight off my back foot with somebody smaller than me because I could use my jab, make him walk into it. Because he got to come to me. He got
Yeah,
to come to me. Or
yeah, and
I can stand right where I'm at, throw my punches, do all that. You know what I'm saying? So he got to
yeah.
come.
I mean,
But
I think if you could make Better Beeve meet you in the middle of the ring, him and DB toe to toe, how that fight ends, it's still a 50-50 fight. Him
yeah,
and Better Beeve and Benavidez, that is 100% a 50-50 fight in my opinion. And I favor Better Beeve, I really do. I just think the more natural 175 guy. Uh, you know, once I see David Benavidez at 175, I could probably judge that fight a little bit better.
yeah.
How he's going to feel out at 175? Is his power going to come with him? Is he going to have more power? Those are all things that are going to be answered when he has his fight at 175. But I have to personally see it for my own eyes to see how he transitions to 175. He is big for 168, so it should, like we saw Devin Haney, he transitioned to 140 perfectly. It fits him well. Is that going to be the same for David Benavidez? Like, is he going to be able to move to 175 and be the dominant guy he is at 168?
I think so. Sure, because
And
168 take a lot out of him to make 175. He gonna be comfortable, way
yeah.
more comfortable than 168.
Now
So
here's a question. Let's say he goes up there and he takes those belts. He becomes a unified lightweight heavyweight champion, right? The undisputed champion at 175. Does that make Canelo want to come up to him and take that fight?
no, Canelo's not fighting him. Period. I'm
You
tired
know
of
that
talking about. We
even if
gotta
he
pass on
unifies
Canelo, bro.
175, that gives
No,
like
he's
almost
not.
like you're putting the bone out there for a dog, right?
He's
You're like,
not.
man, look at this juicy ass bone. My guy's got something you might want now. Because
No,
right now,
he
what
don't
does
want that.
Benavidez have that Canelo wants?
It don't
He
matter.
has
He
no
don't want
belts.
that. What do anybody get that he fighting?
He did, but think about it. He did want those belts at 175 because that's why he went after Bivol.
No,
He
I'm saying
wanted his belt.
that was cool. Yeah, because he had a belt. He was trying to show. Yeah, but what at 168? What do these other guys got that you fighting? Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
no.
Nothing. Nothing.
So you think if that fight it has to happen, even if David unifies at 175, you think if Canelo wants to fight him, he's going to bring him back down to 168?
I don't think they're gonna fight. Period.
I mean, I think it has to happen. I think it's too big of a mark on Canelo's career. Now, a lot of people are going to say that one fight it does not determine his career. No doubt about it. He's had a Hall of Fame career. He's a fucking champion. He's been a beast of a fighter. But to me, as a boxing fan, if he does not fight David Benavidez and he ends his career and retires and that fight doesn't happen, that's a huge blemish. I don't give a shit what the rest of his record is. I'm always going to say he ducked the one guy he should have fought. the
Yeah,
best
I
guy
mean,
at
we
the
can
time,
say that.
and he didn't fight him.
We say
Like,
that about
is that what
Sugar Shane.
Canelo wants on his
I
record?
mean, not Sugar Shane, but Sugar Ray. Huh?
Yeah. Is that what does Canelo want that blemish on his record? Does he care about that
I
blemish?
don't know what Canelo want. I just
Like,
know
it
he
just
don't want
seemed
to
like
fight him.
I think he just wants what he
He
wants.
already
I
got
think,
losses on his record, so
yeah,
he
he's got
think,
2 losses, so that undefeated shit doesn't matter to him.
yeah, so that
You know
don't
what I
matter.
mean?
He just don't want to fight that man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He don't want to fight the bully.
No, he doesn't. I think he's gonna try to avoid that, and that's a shame for boxing, though. If you're the WBC, how do you fucking not make that happen? How do you not punish Canelo? How do you not say, "Hey, we gotta take a stand. We gotta make some kind of we gotta send a message somehow to the rest of the boxing world that you cannot hold these belts and skip the guys you're supposed to fight." Like you said, if David Benavidez is number 2, doesn't matter if he's a mandatory. He is the second best guy in that division. You gotta fight him. You gotta make that fight happen. You gotta push for that. You know what I mean? You can't say, "Oh, you're gonna go fight Jaime Munguia." What does Jaime Munguia have? Nothing. He has no fucking belt, and you beat him,
Hey,
and then nobody's gonna be like, "Oh my god,
not to
that was."
cut you off, but it's this like I'm feeling like Kendrick Perkins, man. When they all like we talking about the Lakers again, man. He ain't active. He don't want the smoke. We passing him up. We got other fire to talk about. Let's get into
Yeah,
the Devin Haney and Ryan and
yeah.
fuck
Now that
all
was my
that.
next. That was the next on the thing, man. Did you watch that? This is turning into a fucking circus, bro. Uh, I
I
mean,
like it.
Garcia pulls up on a fucking horse.
I
You
like
know,
it. I like it.
I like it because it's attention, but to me, Ryan Garcia comes off sounding dumb as fuck. Like he
He
got
just
roasted by
he
Devin
just
at
corny.
that.
He just corny. He don't. You feel me? He ain't got that swag like that.
He doesn't. He
You know
doesn't.
what I'm
He
saying?
tries too
He is
hard
straight to
as
the
he
point
does.
and try to hit somebody where it hurt. Like we could be capping, but a motherfucker, he one of them motherfuckers. Well, your mom, like damn, bro, we
Yeah.
talking about each other. Why you got to
Like,
go
your
that
mom
deep
died of
into it?
cancer. Ha ha. I'm
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah,
Like, that's
and
not funny. You
yeah,
know?
like yeah, like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
he is
yeah,
corny as fuck, man. But I like how he is trying to sell this. They're making it big. Now
nah,
he
they
did.
selling it. They
Now,
selling
how
it.
do you like this fight in New York? I like it in New York. Not
I
every
like a
fight
fight
needs to happen in
wherever
Vegas.
at, man. I
I
like a
love that
fight
fight in New
wherever,
York
man.
City,
Wherever
man.
the people gonna be at, I like the fight, man. They
Yeah,
could fight in Cincinnati. I wouldn't give a fuck. As
yeah.
long as the people gonna show up and be there and they gonna show up to fight, I like the fight wherever it's gonna be. That shit don't got nothing to
Now, now,
nothing.
Haney said that he didn't want it in Las Vegas because it's going to be basically the same weekend as Canelo,
Yeah,
May 4th, which I don't see how. April 20th, May 4th, that's 2 different weekends completely. So what happens on one weekend isn't going to affect what happens on another weekend. But he's saying he didn't want it there because of that. He didn't want to compete with Canelo, that crowd. He didn't want to do that. So that's why they made it in New York. Now Garcia almost canceled the fight because he wanted it in Vegas. And
right.
they're like, we're going to have it in New York. But I love the venue in New York. I just think it's a good venue. I don't like every big fight being in Vegas. I like it to be spread out. We
Yeah,
got other good platforms. California, Arizona has a good platform. Of course, Vegas. Florida has
Texas,
a good platform, and New York has a good platform, man.
Texas.
Yeah. Texas has a great platform, which we're going to get to see our boy Big Baby Anderson down in Corpus Christi, Texas, this summer, with his match coming up. He's going to be down there, which is a pretty good doubleheader. They got I don't know if you've seen that one heavyweight. Fuck, his name is hard as fuck. Ajabi. Fuck, I can't pronounce his last name. It's Ajabi something, but he's a pretty good little heavyweight, man. He goes on ESPN a lot. He'll
Oh,
be at the
we,
co-main event.
we
Huh?
ain't gonna get off the Devin and because that's what's smoking
Oh,
right
okay. You go
now.
with what you think. Tell me about the Devin fight, man. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm about to ask you. What else? What do you think about Ryan putting out that sperm with Javante? Yeah,
Man,
did you see that?
I saw that, and I mean, it's fucking Tank Davis. What if I was Haney? I'd put out the video of Tank whooping his ass in the ring when it mattered. I'm
Yeah,
like, he whooped me, and it don't mean a damn thing. He whooped you when it mattered.
yeah.
That's on your record. that sparring ain't on my record.
Yeah.
That match you lost to Tank is on your record. So
Yeah.
I'd put out that video and retaliate. Well, here's a little what happened with you and Tank. You know, you
Yeah.
got knocked down and you gave up. You quit.
Been saying though, he been saying that. But how he gonna come back? He got to come back. He can't let Ryan win like that because
Ryan
Ryan winning right now with that one. Because
did,
they were trying to say you got to take this in and you ain't seen that fucking tape. He's lying.
yeah.
He's like, I seen it, bro.
What
And
about
then
the
pop.
T-shirt that?
He didn't even say he was gonna do it. He just popped up with it. Boom. Hit the
Damn.
internet. Oh yeah,
Now
he
you know
made
Floyd. You
that.
know Floyd gave him that tape. You know Floyd gave him that tape. Him and Floyd got a little tight with each other. For some reason, him Garcia and Floyd got tight with each other for some reason.
Yeah.
And you know Floyd gave him that tape. And number two, did you see this motherfucker's T-shirt of Diddy and Haney in the pool?
Yeah. He
Haney talking about he finally got
spending on that
invited
type
to
of shit.
Diddy's pool party and
Spending
shit.
on that type of shit. He
He
doing
made a
that.
T-shirt of it, and you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, I mean, I think it's turning out to be like these guys they're making it entertaining. They're selling the fight, and that's what you want your two good fighters to do to your best in this world. You want them to sell that fight. You want
Yeah.
them to make people go, man, I gotta watch this, bro. Like I gotta watch this. You know what I mean? Like Devin was ripping him up about he Garcia publicly said that he smokes weed and drinks. You
Yeah.
know, and Haney's like, what the fuck kind of role model are you? You know, you're publicly saying you smoke weed and you drink, and you know, there's young kids that look up to us and they see what we're saying, and then here you are saying shit like that. Like Devin, I guess, was trying to come off as holier than thou, but I mean, he's right in a way. Like Devin dedicates his life to boxing.
Yeah.
Garcia, to me, doesn't dedicate his life to boxing the way Devin does, and I think that's going to be the eventual outcome of this fight. Is the one who takes it more serious, and I think Devin overall takes the sport more serious than Garcia does.
Mm. Yeah. He definitely takes the sport more serious. I think Ryan in it for the money, but I just can't wait to see it. I don't know, man. I think Devin gonna whoop him though, but at the end of the day, it's good entertainment. He put that tape out. They thought he was lying. You feel me? So
That
it's
was
out now.
hilarious.
But everything they were saying was true. It happened. I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck if Devin was getting off on him after or before. What they said and what Tank and Tank never said. Tank said it like I fought him. If you go back, I fought him. I was out of shape. Da 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 da. Tank never denied like, oh yeah, but he was like, put the tape out when I da da da. I was beating your ass and da 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 da. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it seemed like they was really standing on what they said, but they got to fight. Uh,
yeah,
Tank can't fight. Tank keep Tank name out of it now. Like
yeah. Because he
quit
ain't
bringing
involved
that
in this
man
fight.
name up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
You
can't be like,
lost
well,
to
he
him.
whooped you in
You
sparring. Like
lost
that
to
ain't
him.
who's fighting.
Yeah, you lost to him, and you got to fight this man now. This man ain't fought him yet, so y'all could let Tank go. Tank ain't even said nothing. He might say something, or he might say something on Twitter. I don't know, but Tank ain't said nothing. I got something else for you. You hit the kid Austin.
Kid Austin,
He
yeah. I've
went
heard the name.
he went golden boy. He calling out Shakur, but Shakur told him to fight Abdullah Mason. If he get past Abdullah Mason, he'll fight him. But I seen something where uh Kid Austin said something slick like you crying about you ain't got to fight me. But
Yeah,
but Shakur like shit, get past my young boy Abdullah Mason and I'll fight you. But this shit, everybody
man.
becoming too much friends in this shit. Like it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But in the future, y'all might have to fight each other, bro.
Yeah, you gotta
Like
fight.
everybody can't fucking be your brother. That's gonna be your competition in boxing, bro.
Yeah,
It
you
just
can't be like, I'm not gonna fight Tank. We too close. If the
it's,
money's right, that fight should
no,
happen.
it's different when it's
You know,
your
even with like a
boy. It's
Shakur.
different. No, let me. It's different when it's your boy. Like we came up in the same gym, you my guy. But when you just now meeting this little dude and you been pro before him and you, I don't know how close their relationship is. I can't even say that, but like, okay, I can see you and Keyshawn might not fight, which is fucking boxing up because y'all both on the same, and that should be something going on if y'all wasn't
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
But it's like, damn, like that's why y'all ain't getting no fights. That's why y'all ain't gonna be able to fight because it's like I can't fight him. That's my brother or this and that. Like, but man, boxing is boxing. Or go to another weight class. Keep going to weight class. If he here, you move up. Like, cause I don't know.
Well, I mean, it comes back to me saying, and I live and die by it, man. You got to be active. One fight a year is not active enough. With the technology that we have nowadays, these boys can recuperate faster than they could ever in any point in the history of us as human beings. Humans can now, with the technology out there, rebuild our bodies faster, recuperate ourselves a lot quicker because the technology allows that. The technology out there allows it to happen. Any of these guys, I mean, fighting once a year is bad for the sport of boxing,
Right.
especially if you hold a belt and you're a champion. Like, man, we need Crawford 2 times a fucking year. Once a year is like a fucking tease.
It's not that easy
You
though,
know what I
bro.
mean? It'd be like if your girl only gave it to you once a year.
You ain't got two people that's fight worthy to fight a year. It just don't work like that. Like who I'm gonna
Even
fight?
if
Ugas
not, he
and,
could display his dominance. Like, he could just display that dominance. You
he already
know,
displayed
let
it.
these young dudes
He
say
already displayed it. It's already
he did
displayed. He's
against
been
Spence, but
displaying it.
he has through each weight division that he's conquered, which is what, 3 different weight divisions he's become undisputed in. He's shown
Two.
he's a Crawford.
Yeah, only two undisputed.
2, right? Yeah,
140,
2.
147.
Yeah, he's shown that dominance, but for me, I don't care. Like, yeah, of course, now I don't want to see him fight some cab driver that we know he's going to bust up, and they don't stand a chance against him.
You want to get to the boost innings? Go ahead. I see where
Man,
you're going with this shit.
we want to get to Boots, but that we know that's not going to happen. I want him to
Man,
go
they shouldn't
ahead.
even gave
I
Boost a
want him to
belt.
stop
Like,
playing. I want him to move to 154, take on a Virgil Ortiz, just to challenge yourself. You're going to beat Virgil, but that's a fight that's good to step up to at 154. Get your feet underneath you, get used to that weight,
it
and
sounds
then
cool.
prepare yourself for Tim Tszyu.
It
You know,
sounds cool, but when you're on top of that throne, bro, you look at shit a lot different from when you wasn't on that throne, bro.
I mean,
It's
yeah, it
different.
took him forever to get there,
Now, if I had
and
to
he
fight
was
Boost down to get to Spence, yeah, that'd have been different. But I'm here now. I beat the
yeah.
king.
You
I
don't
beat
need
the
that fight.
king. I beat the
Yeah,
king. Y'all was saying was the king. And I've been the king the whole time. So you think I'm gonna let this you think I'm gonna let this prince just get to me? No.
yeah,
He gotta build him an army first. He gotta get him some, excuse my language, some pussy first. He gotta bust a nut first before he just get to the king. You ain't even fucked enough
yeah.
bitches yet to say you want
True.
me. No, it don't work. And then not only that, they 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 gave you your dad's sword. You ain't have one. Yeah, they mailed basically. You know what I'm saying, they mailed you the belt, so they gave you a
Oh
sword,
God.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on,
Email belt.
they fucked it up even more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you really
Honestly.
got to go prove yourself that you know what I'm saying? And who you really gonna prove yourself to?
Yeah. In my opinion,
Wait,
there's
I mean, who
nobody
you gonna prove
in
yourself with?
147. Nobody really at 147 that's going to be on the level that's going to make people go, yeah, he's ready for Crawford. There's
Right, that's
nobody
what I'm
really at
saying.
147 right now.
That's what I'm
There
saying.
are fights for him to make that would be good fights for him, but nobody that's going to be like
Go
Mario
ahead and just
Barros
go to
isn't somebody that's
154,
going to
bro.
impress anybody.
Go to
But
154, bro.
but what about this? If you're Boots Ennis, why not challenge Teofimo Lopez?
Cause Timo ain't going up to fight that boy.
Why not?
Man,
I mean, if Tamo,
he will
who's
beat the
Teo going
dog
who's
shit
Teo
out
going to
of
fight at 140?
Timo.
I don't
He
think
ain't.
Teo wants Subaru Mateus. I don't think he wants that fight.
He
I
don't
don't think
want
a lot of these
boots.
guys do.
If he don't want Mateo, he don't want boots.
I wouldn't think it would, but I would think it would be a good fight for him. I think it would be a nice little fight. If you're Boots, why not say, hey, call him out?
Nah, that'd be a
Say,
good
hey,
fight. That'd be a good
I
fight,
want
but
Teo. You know what I mean?
that'd be a good
You
fight. But I think Teo and Devin is the future at that 140. Then after that, we can start talking, but not right now. Not
man,
just moving up. Like they trying to complete goals and shit. So the next big fight will be after this. We should be talking about Devin and Teo after the ride.
I would
You know what I'm
absolutely
saying?
agree 100%. Now with how many fights has Teo got left with Top Rank? I thought that deal was done after his last fight.
I don't know. I can't.
I thought he had one fight left, and he just fought that against Ortiz.
Yeah.
And then he was free after that, but I'm not 100% sure because I thought that was a lot of the reason of why they were going to try to drag his last fight out because he's been talking he don't want to re-sign with Top Rank. But I don't really know. I mean, is fucking Matchroom going to end up becoming that fucking new platform for boxing? Are they going to exceed PBC? Are they going to exceed Top Rank because of the Saudi Arabia money? Because, I mean, if he's going to fight Devin, it's going to be on a Matchroom platform, correct? Because Matchroom and Top Rank don't cross platforms. Now, Golden Boy and Top Rank cross
Yeah.
platforms,
Yeah.
but the Zone and Top Rank, they don't cross each other's platforms. Now, Top Rank will tell the Zone, we'll take your fighter in Devin Haney and we'll sign him, but not with you guys. Part of
Yeah.
it. For some
Yeah.
reason, they
That's what
don't
they
want no
did, right?
part of
That's what they.
Matchroom.
That's what they did. So
Yeah. As that, they said, we'll take Devin Haney from you, but we're not supporting your platform, which doesn't make sense. I hate that type of mentality. I think these platforms should be getting together way fucking more, man. I just don't see how they don't both benefit from it. How both platforms wouldn't benefit from the bigger fights happening. Like if you had Teo versus Devin Haney, if you're top ranked, do you really want top Devin or Teofimo Lopez to go to
my guy
Matchroom
against your
and make
guy.
that fight?
Our guy
Yeah.
against your guy. Our guys against your guy.
Yes, exactly. Why
When it
not
come
make
down
it
to it,
like that?
when it
Why
come
not
down
make
to it,
yeah.
to the fight got to be superior.
Now,
My
if I
guy
was
against your guy.
how
Flat
cool
out.
would that be in boxing? If PBC, Top Rank, fucking Matchroom, these platforms all got together and said, "Let's fucking have a tournament. My stable versus your motherfucking stable."
It's the
And they
money,
all
but
took
hey,
one stable and they said, "Our lightweight division is the best."
it's the
And
money,
put it
but
up
hey,
against
guess
yours.
what though? Bet that shit. My guy better than y'all. That's what y'all be talking anyway.
Exactly, bro. You know
Bet
how
that
much that
shit.
would sell? Like
Bet
I
that shit.
like I said, if you made boxing a league, right? And made it a league like the NFL, Major League Baseball, all that other shit, right? And you took all three of these platforms and you made them their own
Man of division. Yeah,
divisions, yeah.
yeah.
And then at the end of the year, the best fighter from each motherfucking division
In
was
each
gonna
weight
fight
class.
each other from
Yeah.
each weight class, each
Yes.
division. And you
Yes.
made
That'd
those
be
fucking
cold.
leagues like the AFC and
That'd be
NFC and
cold.
all that shit,
That'd
bro.
be
Tell
cold.
me how
Wait,
dope that would be, bro.
that'd be dope. That'd be
Yeah.
dope. That'd be
I
dope.
mean,
Because can't nobody run. Can't
no,
nobody say this and
no.
that. Can't nobody do that. You
If
know
you're
what I'm
the
saying?
best,
And then when it
by the
comes
end of the
to
year,
it,
you're gonna prove it.
y'all second place or y'all second ranked fighter or second ranked fighter.
Exactly.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean,
But
it just how banging would that be? Just the league, divisions at the end of the year, all these top dudes, hey, for the championships. You're
yeah,
gonna fucking fight
yeah.
PBC, top rank facing each other. I mean, I just think that would be great for boxing, to have a league, to be able to form in that type of way, to not only benefit the sport of boxing, but to benefit the boxers themselves. You know what I
Agree.
mean? To be able to have the proper money given to them, to be able to have proper benefits, to not, have to worry about if I get like you see boxing, right? If you come up through the Olympics, you have an easier route than somebody who comes up through the amateur division who didn't go through the Olympics, didn't go through all the other junior leagues and stuff like that. If you're coming up straight through the amateur ranks, it's really, really hard to make a name for yourself. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? To get those big platforms to sign you, unlike Olympic guys. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like if you took that division out of boxing and you opened it up to say, hey, we're gonna see what everybody has, you know what I mean? Allow all these guys to showcase it.
Ages in boxing too. Like, there's so much boxing talent out here. Like, people that box, like, but they don't get that same platform. Like I told you, like some people got to go to certain shit to get noticed. Like they doing that one overtime boxing. You seen that? I
Yeah,
guess
yeah. Pro Box
that's
TV
what they
does the same thing.
they
Yeah,
supposed to be coming back out with that on March 29th. They supposed to be having some fighters on there. They got
yeah,
the rule, but it's like people got to go to that type of shit to get noticed. But they platform might take off where they might be
yeah.
a big promotion and
Pro Box TV is starting to do that. They're becoming a good. Like I just saw that their fight that happened on Wednesday that they had was actually advertised on the fight schedule this week, and that's one of the first times I've ever seen Pro Box advertised on Boxing and Ring Magazine schedule and shit like that. So they're starting to get a pretty big platform. Pro Box TV is. Eye of the Tiger is another one out of Canada. They do the same thing, try to give these young guys a platform. Even not just young guys, just guys that are into the sport. They've been in it for a while. They need that opportunity. Uh, but we saw this week also. You saw Salida Promotions on Tuesday with that fight out of Detroit. That new shit that they're doing on the zone.
Yeah.
My only question about that was I liked what I saw. It was pretty good fights. Entertaining bout all the way around.
Wow, bro, but I gotta shake loose, man.
Yeah.
Loose,
Oh yeah. All right. We'll try to cut it down, man. All right.
Do your
All
thing,
right.
but
Let's all right. We'll get in that Salida promotion. That's the first fight I'm going to talk about. The fight results from last week, of course. You had Adriel Holmes, who was part of the Salina Promotions Big Time Boxing, now on the zone, defeat Marlon Harrington. My question with that was, are they going to just be a Michigan-based fighting, or are they going to branch out? They haven't because this company Salida is out of Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. It's a promotional gym company out of there. Now this is a fight series that's supposed to be American fighters. I would like to see them travel America, go to different parts of the country, and showcase fights coming out of Texas, showcase fights coming out of Florida, New York. You know what I mean? Instead of just being based out of Detroit, because I don't think that does much for the American scene to get the whole American scene out there in a series like this. Now, I think maybe it's too broad to say we're going to travel everywhere, but I think it's a good ideal to get American fighters noticed, but I think it has to be a bigger platform, in my opinion.
Yeah, I ain't really too much up on that.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty decent. Salida Promotions. It's called Big Time Boxing. It's on the zone. I guess it's going to show. It's like the next gen, is what it is, but it's all American fighters instead of being overseas and all that. It's just all 100% American fighters. Of course, we saw Edgar Berlanga defeat Patrick McCrory with a 6-round knockout. We talked about that. It's not enough for him to get a Canelo fight.
No, it's not.
What do you think about that fight overall, though?
I give him on the grade side. I give him a C plus. His opponent wise and just he could have probably been finished him. He was hesitant. He started using his jab, but I don't know. I just got to see more. He got to be more active to me. I got to see more. I got to see better competition. I got to see somebody that ain't. I don't know, man. I just got to see more. I got to see more.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I need to see more out of his competition. I needed to step up and not go from Patrick McCrory to fucking Canelo Alvarez. That can't be the case. Like, you can't go from this guy to this motherfucking guy and think that that's going to be a good outcome for him. I think that's a bad outcome. And of course, the money's there for him, but that's not a fucking way to set your fighter up. I think Burns is looking for money.
Talking that dumbass shit.
Yeah. Now also, man, now the undercard on that. I don't know if you watched the undercard on that shit, but there was some good ass motherfucking fights, bro. Andy Cruz had a 10-round fight against his dude. That was a hell of a fight, man.
Didn't impress me.
Now, this is the second fight I haven't been impressed with Andy Cruz. What I've heard about him coming out of the Olympics, amateurs, Cuba, all that kind of stuff. His last 2 fights, I haven't been impressed with him. Now he's claiming, of course, Keyshawn had made a tweet about, let's fight at the pro level. Garcia came back and said, motherfucker, I beat you 4 times in the amateur, and I beat you 1 time when you were a pro, when you came back down to the amateurs after being a pro, and he came back in the Olympics, and Andy Cruz beat him there.
That's amateur.
Now, do you think that's the mentality, or do you think Keyshawn?
They've been cheating us for years.
Fuck yeah, they have. Fuck yes, they have. That's why it was dropped from the Olympics for the longest time, man, because of all the fucking crookedness of it. Yeah. I agree 100%. They've robbed Americans for fucking years in the Olympics. So it's hard for me to take anything from the Olympics. But does that fight have to be made? I mean, these guys got the history in the amateurs, kind of
Yeah,
like
it'll be a good fight, but he
Garcia
got
and
himself up.
Haney.
He gotta get them fights under his belt, get more comfortable. But yeah, hell yeah, why wouldn't they? You see Ryan and Devin doing it. Why wouldn't they not do it?
Yeah, well, different platforms, Top Rank, and then Cruises with the Zone. So that's one of the big, bridges, that come between
Man,
them two being able to make that fight
motherfucker
happen.
ain't about to just be staying at top rank. Motherfucker staying at top rank right now because it's giving them a platform. But
Yeah, I think,
motherfuckers,
that's what I said.
don't take long.
It's hard for me not to see Matchroom being able to take over if PBC is on a downslide. Top Rank, they have a good stable, but they don't do enough with their fighters. They don't branch out to other platforms to try to cross promote or anything like that. I think that will hurt them in the long run. But the undercard, one of the guys on there that I've liked for a while, I don't know if you watched much of him, Yankee L. Rivera. He's out of Puerto Rico. Of course, I love my Puerto Rican fighters, my Puerto Rican wife, so I support all these Puerto Rican fighters, watch them. But Yankee Rivera, he was in a fucking all out dogfight that you could have possibly put it up there as a fight of the year, one of the fights of the year. It's early in the year, but definitely him and the dude he fought, fucking who was it? Andy Dominguez. Man, these guys for fucking 10 rounds just beat the shit out of each other. Yankee Rivera's got the unanimous decision. But it was a great challenge for him. I don't know if he watched him much, but I really like this kid a lot at the bantamweight division, I think he is. Bantamweight, or super flyweight is what he's at actually.
Oh yeah, I
Did
ain't
you
watching Superfly. I ain't gonna lie to you.
man,
I'm
I
barely
love that
down the
small
way.
division.
That's too little for me. I ain't.
I love those small dudes. I mean, if you ain't watched Bam Rodriguez, bro, Bam Rodriguez, that's one of my all-time favorites, bro. Like that motherfucker is small, but he's a beast, bro. He's an absolute beast. Uh, Another one on there, I don't know who was the
You damn near watching Straw Flyweight, huh?
oh, bro, I'll watch it. I'll watch it if it's on there. Them little dudes will bang the fuck
Now
out,
I'll
bro.
watch
Like
it if I catch it, but
Speedy,
I'm
fucking
not
just
going to look for them guys though.
no, no. I don't
It's
like
just
the
it's just
flyweight division. I don't pay much attention to
like
that, but I will watch those.
we ain't just about to go watch a WNBA game. You feel me? It's
Fuck
just
no, man. I don't
we
want to see
just
clink, 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 clink all
yeah,
day
we
long.
just ain't going. We just ain't stuff. I'm gonna watch it, but I am not going to look for it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm not going out of my way to find it. If it's on a card, I
Yeah,
watch those guys
I
and
damn
stuff like
near
that.
barely watch college. Like,
Now, I do support Bam a lot. I'm a big fan of his. I want to say he's at the flyweight division.
okay,
Big fan of his though. Of course, okay, yeah. Over in Japan, you had Juno Nakatani defeat Alexandra Santiago. That was a 6-round stoppage to become a 3-weight world champion. Nakatani could be a good challenger for Inoue. What's your thoughts?
I gotta say him.
He's pretty impressive.
I heard in the way brother did his thing.
He did his thing. Now, this didn't make any sense to me. Now they advertised Nakatani Santiago as the main event, but they were the co-main event on that fucking card. And the Inoue's brother, what's his name, Takuma Inoue, he was the headliner. But they didn't advertise it like that. I didn't. It didn't register to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, was this a last minute fight that they put in there? And they thought, well, Takuma Inoue is a bigger name than Nakatani. So they put him above him, but still, it was a pretty good overall fight. He got a 9th round KO to get the WBA bantamweight title. He's not his brother. He doesn't have the power his brother has.
I
Now, if
heard
you
he looked
watch him,
good. John Porter and now was highly up on him.
he looks good. But if you think he looks good, go watch his brother. You're gonna
I
be like,
already
God
seen his
damn,
brother. I already
like
seen what his brother do.
damn.
I seen what his brother do, but y'all got like they was saying on Part Away podcast. I want to see you at a disadvantage. Come over here. You in the jungle. You used to your jungle. Come out your atmosphere. Go into the safari with the tigers and shit. Let me see if you still that lion when you get around tigers and shit. Or is you,
Now, I can agree with that. Get him out of his element, see how he does. But with a guy like Inoue, that makes no difference for him. You can bring him to the U.S. You can bring him over to the U.K. You could bring him over to Saudi Arabia. this dude's going to be the same guy he was in Japan as he is in Japan anywhere he fights, man. Like you see that level, bro. Like when you see guys and you see that difference in the
So you
level,
think he can fuck with Tank?
not with his size, he'd have to significantly like we're talking 3 weight divisions. He's already jumped up, seems to jump up like a weight division every year. He kind of goes up. He's on his third or fourth weight division now. He's gonna
Uh,
max out.
I
He'll
mean,
max out at
Pacquiao
like
did it.
126, I would say.
Where did he
He's
fight
gonna
at?
max out. I don't think he's gonna get to 130. He
He ain't
fights
even
around the 1 8.
126.
I think he was at 118. Like he's 3 weight divisions from where Tank's at right now. So if you take that 130, 120, what was it? 130,
Hey,
128,
bro, I gotta
118.
slide too,
All
man.
right, man. I'll let you jump off here, man. I'll go ahead and finish this up without you, my guy.
All right,
Uh,
bro.
but of course, everybody, Big Spade
Big
joining the show.
Spade,
He's got a run on me. I'm gonna finish this up with you guys. I'm gonna just talk to myself in this camera and look weird and shit.
Nah, don't go too deep. Just give him a little bit. Don't give him too
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna
Give him
finish up
too
what I
much.
got here and then call it a day, man. Wrap up the
All right,
fucking
brother.
show and shit, bro. All right, my
Okay.
guy.
All
Hey,
right.
thanks for joining Big Spade. We'll
You
see you
already
next
know,
time.
man.
All right, man.
Urban and Boxer. Keep likes, comments, subscribe. Y'all already know, man. See you
That's
next
it.
time. Get with you. All right.
All right, my guy. See you.
Yeah.
All right. Like I was talking, man, we went through some of the week's fights that happened last week, man. Of course, I did talk about the Juno Nakatani defeated Alexandra Santiago. We also saw Takuma Inoue defeat Durain Anicias in that fight, which was a pretty good fight overall, man. I'm super impressed with Nakatani. Is he on Inoue's level? I don't quite think he's quite there yet, but that would be a great fight to match these two guys up, two Japanese fighters. No reason they shouldn't get in the ring together, man. I think it would be a great fight. Also, in this week's fight schedule, man, we got a nice little fight schedule this week. I definitely want to give the ladies some love, man. We'll get into that in a minute, but of course, today we have a fight out of the UK. Abbas Baru versus Sam Egginson, 14-1. Sam Egginson, 34-8. Will be fighting over in the UK. That fight is probably going on as we speak. And then tomorrow or Saturday, you're going to get a really good fight on ESPN, man. A double card, a double header on there, man. 2 co-main events that they're going to have. It's going to be really, really good. The main one on that's going to be Odebek Kamatov, 12-0, going up against Raymond Ford, 14-0. Everybody's super impressed with Ford. These are 2 undefeated fighters. I expect nothing but bang, 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 fireworks from these guys, man. That's what I'm expecting. Let's take a little bit of a shot, man. I'm not going to get too deep, man, without my co-host on the show. We'll just go over the remaining schedule here. Of course, that Raymond Ford fight is going to happen on ESPN in New York, Verona, New York. Okay, and then March 2nd, also Saturday night, man, you're going to have our girl, Amanda Serrano. My wife's Puerto Rican. We love Amanda Serrano, man. We are huge Amanda Serrano fans in this house. We love our Puerto Rican fighters, baby. So she will be fighting Nina Manicki, who is 18-3. Of course, we know Amanda Serrano is 46-2, has won 7 weight division titles, like just unreal. 7 different weight divisions she's won titles in. This will be going on in my wife's hometown, San Juan, Puerto Rico, baby. And that's going to be happening on the Zone on Saturday night, man. Absolutely love Amanda Serrano. I think she's going to dominate this. She says this is the last chapter of her career. 46 fights in, man. I can imagine she doesn't have uh, much left to prove, but the one fight we got to see after this, man, handle your business tomorrow, Amanda Serrano against Nina Manicki, which is not going to be an easy fight. And please, please give us one more fight against Katie Taylor. 3 rounds, or 3-minute, 12 rounds against Amanda Taylor. Set that record, even if you have to go to Ireland. I think you win that fight if you get your 3 rounds, 12. I thought you were right there and won it last time, but I think you win this second fight. And everybody needs that fight, man. That was huge for women's boxing. It has not passed that point of stale. We want to see it. We are, what were you saying? We are hungry for this fight. I am hungry for that fight. Serrano versus Taylor. But without looking too far ahead and not disrespecting Nina Manicki, that's going to be a tough fight. But I favor Serrano in that, and I think she's going to do her thing on Saturday night, and we're going to get a Serrano versus Katie Taylor 2 sometime later this year, guys, before the year's over. Mark my words on that, man. We're going to get that fight, and it's going to be the fight everybody wants, man, 100%. But guys, I want to thank you for joining me on Bourbon and Boxing, me and Big Spade. I'm Jeff, your host, and Big Spade had to jump off there, man. He had stuff he had to do. So I'm going to close the show with you guys, man. Thank you for joining me for episode 51. I'm about to kick my cat's ass out my door, fucking meow, meow, meow. But besides that, let's ignore that bitch and, close this show up. Share, like, subscribe. Check out our podcast, man. We are on Apple. We are on Amazon. We are on Spotify. We are on iHeart. You can check us out on YouTube, man. Give us a chance, guys. We try to keep you up on the latest schedule, the latest news, the latest results here on Bourbon and Boxing, baby. Don't forget to join us. And thank you for everybody who joined us for this episode, man. Guys, have a great night.